To some degree, I feel like in the work that we do with tribal communities, we have to use the measures that are already out there for a number of reasons. So in the FACES study, one of our goals is to be able to compare our tribal Head Start programs to non-tribal Head Start programs to see, are the needs of the children and families different, for example. And in order to make those comparisons, you have to some degree, compare apples to apples. And so that kind of bounds you to using existing measures the way that they were developed. But I think that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, and in fact you should, as a researcher, place the appropriate interpretations around your findings and make sure that you are contextualizing them and giving meaning to the perhaps just the numerical data that you're getting back. And so I think that's really the role of having these collaborative relationships with people like Jacki, who are on the ground operating day-to-day in a tribal Head Start program, who could help us as researchers give meaning to the data that we're gathering. And then I just say that the longer term, more resource intensive approach to the measurement concerns is really developing measures that specifically are for tribal communities. That may look at young children's social emotional development through a different lens than we might in other communities. And that work, is perhaps starting to happen, but has a long way to go. The other thing that's a challenge for tribal communities is that they are not, just like lots of other groups, it's not a single group. There are over 560 federally recognized tribes alone. That doesn't count the state recognized tribes as well as the urban American Indian populations. But just among those federally recognized tribes, there's tremendous diversity in terms of language, culture, acculturation. So you could develop a measure that is really appropriate for one community, but it may not apply in that really fine-tuned kind of way to other communities. So it's a little bit of a fiction also to develop an American Indian version of something.